back, everybody. I'm Jay. He's Maddie. This is Yankee and the Brit, and we are here with a special guest, Adehkeem Brown. How are you doing, my man? Thanks for coming on.
I'm doing good, doing good. Just getting ready to take off. So
Yeah. So before we get into the fact of where you're playing right now, and if I get any of this wrong, let me know. But you were a safety who walked on to Quincy University and had to switch to corner.
yeah, yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah,
So, what was that transition like from high school to college and then to a new position?
man, they put me at corner the first year. That was probably one of the scariest things I ever did, being out there. But I was one of the best. I was the best athlete on the team, so they didn't really have anybody else to put out there. So I was in my head. I was like, I guess if we get beat, it's on me. So
It's like you always think of the wide receivers as the most athletic people on a team, right? But then you actually look at the you look at the corners and you go, actually, yeah, shit. Like, yeah, they're the most athletic dudes because you have like the range and that kind of stuff as well. Like, it's always mad to see corners and like the evolution of corners as well.
yeah, just wide receiver, you kind of know where you're going before the ball is snapped, and with corner, you're going backwards. So I'm guessing where he's going, and then having to run the route backwards, that was a big adjustment for me. So I
You
don't
do
know.
everything a wide receiver does, but you do it backwards. Actually, yeah, that's a really good way of putting what I just tried to say together.
So, I'm betting you're a hard hitting corner since you played safety.
Yeah, I actually played a little linebacker in college too. I mean, in high school. So when I moved to the outside, I like hitting was no problem until you get Derrick Henry. Yeah.
Right. You do see some corners come out and they're not big hitters or whatever, but you see
Yeah.
when a guy moves from safety or he plays both positions, you see that's the kind of corner that lights somebody up and brings snot bubbles.
Yeah. It's definitely a trait I'm glad I picked up with moving around on the football field. Just going in there with no fear to hit somebody. I'm glad I learned that early.
Yeah, just getting a clean hit on somebody as well is just such a fucking satisfying feeling. Like I'm a rugby player, and just being able to hit somebody square, I just feel so good, like so fucking pure, man.
Yeah, it's always timing with the break, and you read the play, and then making the play is always exciting to me. So
Yeah.
So if I got
great.
this wrong, let me know. But I read somewhere that your uncle got you into football. How did that work?
So actually, my mom wasn't gonna let me play, and then my uncle had ended up. They snuck me to football practice or snuck me out there because my dad said it was okay, but my mom really wouldn't let me play. But somehow they snuck me out there, and the first practice was terrible. I actually wanted to quit, and then my dad told me I couldn't quit, so here I am.
Well, shout out Pops for not letting you quit.
Yep.
And I saw something interesting. You set a conference record and a school record for interceptions while playing at Quincy.
Yeah, a lot of yeah. I did. I didn't even notice I set the conference record till I was done. I was looking at my career, and then I saw 14 interceptions. I'm like, wow, I didn't know it was a conference record. But yeah, because we had a pretty new conference, so I came here my freshman and then sophomore year got some interceptions, and then my junior year had a breakout season. Senior year I had a couple more interceptions to add on to that. So it was the collectively it added up. It adds up.
And so then after that, if I got this correct, moved and went and played in Italy.
Yeah, so I did my pro day. I didn't run what I wanted to do at the pro day, but I was talking to a couple teams. They were interested, CFL, NFL teams, but none of them pulled the trigger. So I didn't know what was next. So team from Italy had hit me up. I was training people at the time at a gym. They had hit me up, and I said, why not? And then it went to Italy. One of my coaches ended up being a coach in Germany, which I saw that they were, Germany was pretty competitive football. So that's why I said, oh, I seen some guys were making careers out of it and, kind of still chasing the dream. So I had kind of just, why not?
Was it a
Germany's kind of
culture
where it's
shock?
at for. Sorry,
Sorry,
man.
Maddie, go ahead.
Germany's kind of where it's at for football in Europe at the minute. Like you see the European League, and basically most of them are German. There's a team in Barcelona. There's no British teams in the European League at the minute, which I think is an absolute travesty. I'm gonna have to see if we can get that sorted out. But yeah, there's it's kind of where it's at in the European League, and with Germany getting an NFL game now as well, like it's a really good place to go. Where in, where in Italy? Where in Italy were you playing?
I played in Torino.
Torino. Oh, right. Okay, nice. Like where in Italy is that? Northern Italy. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of near Milan, about an hour away from Milan.
Yeah. Oh man, I love Italy. I absolutely love it. I love Europe.
Italy was one of the it was one of the beautiful. Italy was great.
Yeah, it must be quite hard to be a sports star over there though, with all the like fucking awesome food.
Oh yeah, they got some great food. They got some great food. Both countries got great food, actually.
So was it a big culture shock when you went from the U.S. to play in Italy, or was there a lot of guys in the U.S. over there too?
I had never traveled. Like I said, I went to Quincy, and that was two hours away from my home. So you go to Italy, I mean, there ain't no home. I mean, where your football team is your home. That program is your home. So.
Did you deal with any language barriers like they do in baseball? Because in like when you're in the NFL and stuff, everybody's speaking English. Was there any language barriers playing overseas?
Yeah, but a lot of guys that play football there, they speak English. So, you just kind of find your core guys that you talk to and, translate. And you have all type of apps these days, translation app. And after a while, you kind of pick up on some words. So after a while,
how many Italians were actually on the team? How many Italians were playing there?
I don't know.
Like, don't need to give it.
It was a lot, but I don't know the exact number because you only allowed 2 imports. So the rest of the guys were Italian.
No way. No way. That's really interesting. Does Italy play a lot of rugby? So maybe it's the people who didn't go for rugby. They went for American football instead.
Yeah, but like you said, it's a growing thing over there. So a lot of people once they actually start doing football, they find it's more, it's the adrenaline and it's the sport's actually really, really, it's really neat sport. So I was a basketball player growing up, but once I stepped on the football field, it was more challenging than just putting the ball in the hoop. So it was more of a thrill to go out there, run, jump, catch the ball.
So this is where I kind of got lost in looking, like when I was researching and doing some reading on you. So you went to Potsdam Royals right after Italy, or was there a team in between?
So yeah. So I went to Italy, and then I was like, well, I heard everybody over in Italy talking about the top league in Germany. So I'm like, man, I want to make my way up there. I want to play for the best. I want to compete at the highest level I could compete at. So my coach actually ended up being a coach for he was a player at one of the teams, and he had referred me to go up there because they had some issues with their corner. I don't know specifically, but they had some issues with their corner. So they had sent them home at the middle of the season. And then I ended up getting my first, I went home for 2 weeks. About 2 weeks later, I was playing in Germany. I had just uploading film of my workout still. And then they had hit me up. And then they were like, you want to play? And we got a spot. Something opened up. But I was like, sure, yeah. But they had heard about me from one of my coaches in Italy. So Brian. Brian kind of helped me out with that. So I appreciate Brian.
Well, shout out Brian. And so you went from the Royals to the Unicorns?
So I went from the Unicorns, which it was kind of like an interim gig. I wasn't their first choice. And then I ended up going to the Royals. Once I got my foot in the door, the Royals ended up giving me a shot for like a full season. That's all I really wanted. So when they gave me a shot for a full season, we had some success.
And then you signed with their rival, the New Yorker Lions. Is that how that went?
Well, I remember playing New Yorker when I was with the Unicorns because New Yorker had beat us in the championship game, and I was like, man, like, you know, they got something going over there. Like, you know, they got a really good culture, and just for me playing them last year, and then me playing them in the German Bowl the year before, I was like, that's a team that I would thrive. You know, that's a team that I would thrive on. You know, I feel like everybody over there is equally motivated, and you know, everybody wants to win. You know, I'm in it to win, and that's it. So, you know, you don't get that culture everywhere. So that's why I left, and that's why I went over there.
So there's a lot of his history with that team, though, correct? Like 12-time champions, if I'm not mistaken, of their league.
They got a lot of and I've only heard great things about Coach Tomlin as far as being a coach. You know, that's the closest you get to about an American coach. So over there, and you know, and I believe he's a small school guy. He came from Westminster, you know, so he's a small school guy that got a shot at a pro level to coach, and he's had 12 German Bowls, and you know, it doesn't really matter, you know, it doesn't really matter where you come from. So, you know, I feel like a lot of guys like me are going over there, guys that you thought were done, or you know, didn't really have, you know, didn't go big D1, or don't have an NFL tag or CFL tag behind their name, guys that just got overlooked. I would just say I got overlooked. So nobody really vouched for me. So
yeah, and why not like try and make a career out of it somewhere else? And like, there's not many better places that you can go around to kind of just have a good time and that kind of stuff as well. Like you're there to win, but obviously good times there as well. I've heard some pretty mental stories about the EFL, olden days EFL, where a lot of Americans came over, started drinking. I know there was Devin Hester played for Glasgow, and he used to say he used to go and play in Berlin and just like went out and went absolutely off it and went on crazy nights out and stuff like that. I don't know whether it's still like that anymore.
Oh, I mean, I don't know about Devin Hester, but but yeah, I mean, you can always have a great time. You know, it's always every time you're in a new city, new sites, new, you know, it's new territory, so everything's new. So you know, it's always a great time.
Yeah, what are the crowds like? What is like the fan support like? What are we talking on eyes actually watching the games?
I believe at the German Bowl that I played in, we had about 25,000 to about 30, 25. And that was 2019. So, you know, me coming from a D2, I was used to playing in front of like 5,000 people, 4,000 people. You know, at D2, you go out there, you see 25,000, 10,000 in the playoff game. You know, that's a lot of people for me. You know, it was definitely gave me a thrill. It was some adrenaline.
So I'm not digging into your contract. I just have a contract related question. As when you sign with a team over there, do you have some kind of out where if you get a shot with, say, the XFL, the USFL, the CFL, you can take it?
You know, that's really like a player's decision, I believe, in most cases, as far as like, think if it's, you know, at the end of the day, you gotta do what's best for you. You know, do what's best for you and your family. So if it's the right opportunity, then why not take it? But if
I just didn't know if maybe the contracts wouldn't allow it.
Oh no, I believe you. I believe I don't know how everybody's contract set up, but if you get a shot, take it.
So is that kind of something you're hoping for? Because you're not that far out of college. You're not like some of the guys who I've seen over there that are just playing to play at this point. Like you're still young enough, and watching your highlights, I think you got some skills. So is that something you're looking to do? Is like CFL, XFL, being that there's more leagues now, trying to get eyes on you, maybe get into one of those leagues?
Yeah, that was another reason I signed with New Yorker. You know, it's a bigger stage, bigger platform, more eyes can see it. So Yeah, I mean, I've had teammates that have played in the NFL, and I work out with guys all the time. So just working out with them keep me motivated. And, just that still keeps me hungry. It's like I'm not too far off because yeah, I honestly feel like I was just overlooked.
Hey,
Nobody
I'm a
really.
Vikings fan, and we can use all the corner help we can get. So, like Vikings, hey, Kawisi, if you're watching, bring this dude to camp because we need all the help we can get in our secondary.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I want to play at the highest level.
So, what teams you grow up a fan of?
I'm not gonna say the Rams. They were in St. Louis. That was the closest thing I got. But I've always been a fan of, or I've always looked up to players. So I've
All right,
always
who's
looked
your
up.
idol then? Who do you want to be? Like,
Well,
which
who do you
player do you
model
look at and
after?
think, yeah, that's my guy?
And it changes because a lot of people got different games. A lot of people catch fire. 1, 2, 3 seasons. So for a while it was Patrick. Patrick Peterson was my favorite. I like Tyrann Mathieu. He was. He's got his own game. And then right now, I have to say a lot of the film I watch is Gilmore, Stephon Gilmore. So
Yeah,
Stephon's
When
really
you
good.
were saying, sorry, man, when you were saying like hard hitting, interceptions, athletic, I was thinking Trayvon Diggs of my Dallas Cowboys. Who doesn't want to be that guy at the minute? But I mean, that's just one season hot. And also, he
I like
got burnt more than any other guy in the fucking league. So,
I like Trayvon Diggs too. I like him too.
yeah.
So, if you had to pick right now, who do you think personally is the number one corner in the NFL?
Stephon Gilmore is corner. We're talking about pure corner. Stephon Gilmore.
Okay,
I'm
I
going
put
with
him two
Stephon.
behind J.C. Jackson, but I'm not going to argue with you.
He's going out on the market as well. Stephon Gilmore looking to trade, looking for a few teams that are going to be going out for him straight away. He should be one of the more interesting stories of free agency, man.
Mm-hmm.
So do you get to watch a lot of NFL, or because of the time difference and that you're playing in other leagues, is it harder to keep up with college and NFL football?
I don't really keep up with college as much, but I keep up with NFL. I keep up. I follow them a lot.
So is there I saw something, I think it was at a combine interview, but after playing, you still looking at coaching?
Yeah, coaching is always something that it'll be with me forever. So, I can always teach a kid how to, do what I did, or backpedal, or so, wherever it takes me. But coaching will always be with me. I don't really quite know what's in store next, or not everything panned
Right.
out. But coaching, yeah, that'll always be with me. That'll be always something I'm doing. Whether I'm coaching for a team or doing my own coaching, that's something I'll always be doing.
So you're leaving next month, you're going to Germany. Like, what's the first thing you're looking forward to doing outside of football?
The first thing I'm looking to, I'm gonna go get they got these stands where they got donuts at. They call them donuts. It's like the best, wrap with like chicken, I think, in it. Chicken, yeah, chicken wrap. I'm gonna go to that. I've been looking forward to that. They got candy that I love there. Uh, Traveling,
German
just
sweetbreads,
seeing
man.
the sightseeing. So yeah, and it's every time it's something new for me. I've been blessed to play in 3 different every city every year. It's a new city. So
Where do the Lions play? What city are they in?
Braunschweig.
All right, okay, Brunswick. Yeah,
Brunswick, yeah, Brunswick.
yeah. I don't know where. I don't know anything about Brunswick. I'm not sure about it. But yeah, honestly, man, Germany's so much fun. Have you had currywurst yet?
Have I got what?
Currywurst. It's like the sausage. Oh,
Oh
mate, it's like
no.
bratwurst diced up,
Mm-hmm.
and then like curry sauce in it. It's so good, man. So good. Love that
Take me
shit.
to it.
You guys make me want to go eat something right now. So besides it, obviously everybody's goal is a championship every year. But do you, going into a season, like when you're training, do you set certain personal goals, or is it like, do you do the team goals that are obvious? But like, what kind of things do you set up for yourself going into a season?
I have personal goals, and I have, everybody got goals, and but my goal is to go out there, give it your all, give it your all. You did that. I mean, ain't nothing else you can do. I mean, you're gonna have some ups and downs, but just give it your all.
So how do you how does a football player stay locked in, like halfway through the season, the body's beat up, you're in and out of the hot tubs, I'm sure treatment every day because nobody's ever completely healthy. How do you keep yourself locked in and motivated at those times?
I mean, it's for me, it's easy. The motivation comes easy because I was a walker. Like, I'm not even supposed to be here. I've never imagined even playing pro football was never a thing of coming in as a walker. And I was just trying to get a scholarship. So so the motivation is easy. The motivation, that's the easy part. I'm just happy to be here.
So you got to witness it firsthand. How much difference? I mean, you lived it. Is it different being a walk-on compared to a scholarship student that like walking in those first few practices?
Going from comparing yourself as a walk-on to a guy that has a scholarship now.
Yeah, like
Oh
what's
man,
that like? Do the coaches look at you different, or do they just not
definitely
care?
I mean, yeah. So my freshman year, I was just out there corner, just they were just seeing what they could do. And then by my junior year, that me and the defensive coach were always having conversations about game plans, and I'm in the office talking to him every week, and he's basically we're that's like my second hand, right hand man, so you just get more in depth and you build more relationship, trust. I mean, it's great having a coach that you can talk to about the game plan, and it actually takes your word, and your advice when you give them advice about the game plan and what you should do to execute. A lot of coaches don't do that.
So how hard of a choice was it to not take those lower scholarship offers to walk on to a D2?
Yeah, I mean, it was for my family. It was hard. I was asking them for money all the time, and just I hate as a young kid, you don't like asking for you like to want to get it on your own, but it was having to go to them to pay for college, and I gave myself a deadline. I said, hey, if I don't get the money by then, I'm have to go down to NAI or wherever, So luckily, God was there, so I ended up getting a scholarship in the time that I had set for myself, so didn't have to worry about backup plan or going down.
So how did you find out that you became a scholarship player? Do they just pull you into the office, or do they just shock you in front of the team? How does that work?
So my situation was a little different. So I remember, telling the coach about my problems, my financial situation. Hey, I mean, I don't come from the poorest family, but I don't come from the richest family. So, but we get our things together when we need to. So, just telling him like, hey, it's becoming a burden. Like, what do I have to do to be a scholarship player? So they had brought in another corner, and then I think there were another DB, but I was like, I'm gonna have to outwork them. They were super athletic. One guy came from a great program, so I just when they went home in the summer, I decided to stay here and just work out. So I had came out my redshirt freshman year and started all 9 games. After doing that, I was like, I beat out every corner that was here. So, it was kind of a no-brainer when I went into the office and I was like, hey, what's going on? Or, talk to coach. So
That's awesome though, because you earned that, and that feeling of knowing you went out there and you just took what you needed to take. That's something that you either have or you don't. Like, they can't teach you that, and that's such a great thing. And it seems like you just put your head down and you're like, I'm going to beat out everybody in front of me till I get what I want.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, ain't really no other choice, man. And I'm glad I learned that young. So, a lot of people, whoever decides to watch this, you can really accomplish anything. That just shows me another testimony that God gave me just to put in front of myself that you can really do anything you want. Just you got to keep working, so.
Well, Maddie, we won't keep him all day. You have anything else for him before we let him out of here?
No, just good luck with the season coming up ahead. Have a safe flight over to Germany and have a fucking mint time, man, because Germany's just the shit. I absolutely love it.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate it. It's gonna be a great season. It's gonna be a great season.
Yeah, and after you guys get in there and you win that 13th cup, maybe you'll come back on and talk to us about it.
Oh yeah, for sure. I definitely give you guys after the championship. I'll let you guys know how the season.
Jay, I mean, you could come over to Europe and we could just go watch the championship game.
Okay, I don't want to get too political, but until bombs stop bursting over there, I'm sitting my ass
It's
right
nowhere
here.
near. You'll be fine.
But thank you again so much. We appreciate you giving us your time. You'll definitely have a fan in me who will be following you for throughout what's going on. And Maddie's the one who got me into all the football leagues over there in the German football league and stuff. And I can't get enough football. So since Maddie's turned me on to that, I've been paying more attention. So I'm just excited to see where you go from here, because part of the reason I wanted to talk to you is everything I read about you in like your combine interviews and different things. Like, you were just after it and you didn't have the easiest route. And I just really respect the route you had to take.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. I appreciate that. A lot of people don't take that deep into what they're doing. So I appreciate that.
Well, thanks for watching, everybody. Stay tuned for all the other shows we got coming up. You already know what it is, but stay tuned this week. Don't forget, on MMA Underground, we are going to be raising money for NAMI, which is mental health. So save up a couple bucks for the show, guys. It doesn't hurt to give $1 or $2. No donation is too big or small. One world, one love. Deuces.
Cheerio.
See you guys.